Morning, good afternoon to a lot of people joining us here today. Welcome to the MSc Global Environmental Economics webinar. My name is Lucy Heaney. I am from the International Office here at University of Galway. Today I am joined by Dr. Luke McGrath, the Programme Director, and Sharon Ullman as well. So thank you very much for joining us. I can see you've already started participating in our live chat. So you're welcome to ask any questions that you might have, and we will take those questions after the presentation. So I'll hand over to you there, Sharon.
Hi, everybody. Thanks a million, Lucy. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. We're delighted to have you, and welcome to Galway. So the MSc Global Environmental Economics, this is the webinar, and I'm just going to give a quick overview of Galway and the university. I work for the marketing team in the School of Business and Economics, and so I'm just going to give you an overview of the university and the city, and then I'll hand you over to Luke, who will speak about the programme. So firstly, I suppose, where are we? We're in Galway. Where is Galway? And we are based on the western edge of Europe. And then Galway, you can see here on the map, we're on the western edge of Ireland also. And we're located on what is known as now the Wild Atlantic Way. So I suppose next stop, the US, you can see next stop Boston there on the map. And the west of Ireland, we're biased, but it is actually the most beautiful part of Ireland. It is wild and rugged with lots of beautiful scenery. And then we have the university here, which is, that's our quadrangle, which was the original building, and it was built in 1845. So we're, over 180 years as a school, as a university of research excellence and teaching. And you can see here this beautiful parkland, which is quite unusual because we are based in the city centre, more or less 5 minutes walk to the actual centre. But the city has built up around the university, and it's a very integral part of the city as well. So really, it's kind of hard to tell where the city begins and where the university ends, really. This, as I say, is the original building, but you can see up here we have, I will have another map, where we have, there's been huge investment in the university. So it's quite a modern, with lots of new buildings, lots of new technologies, but you know it's all built up around this beautiful old building. So why Galway? So Galway is, as I say, we're based on the west coast. It's the fourth largest city in Ireland, but really it's quite a small city with less than 85,000 people. But it's very vibrant. It punches well above its weight. It's very cosmopolitan and very multicultural. So it is a city of culture with lots of music, film and the arts, with festivals all year round, with very famous arts festival, a film fla, lots of children's festivals. It's just, there's always something happening in Galway. And it was the European Capital of Culture in 2020, but it is the capital of, it is the Irish capital of culture always. It's also then a very safe city with very low crime rate. Everything is within walking distance in the city. So it's really easy to get around. It's very student friendly, very student centric, really. It always has been quite like a bohemian. It's a really nice atmosphere. I think we'd all agree that, you know, it's just a really lovely place to live, to work, to study. And it's a melting pot, and everybody, you know, there's huge industry here, and everybody just melts together. It's just a really lovely place to live. As I said, everything is within walking distance. So really, no matter where you're living in the city, you can quite easily get to the university, either walking, cycling, or there's a bus service. The medtech, I won't go too much into, you know, the industries, because I think, Luke, you'll be covering that for the programme specifically. But it is a medtech hub in Ireland, and it also has a very large financial and entrepreneurial centre. So then I've mentioned there just the River Corrib. You can see there it's the fastest flowing river in Europe. And it comes from Lough Corrib, which is a beautiful lake up to the north of the city. And then out wider than that, you have Connemara, which is very famous landscape. It's beautiful, very rugged landscape. And then to the south of us, we have the Burn and the Cliffs of Moher. And we are then very close to the sea as well. Salt Hill is a little, well, it's a village. It's not really, it's part of the city now, but a beautiful promenade looking out onto the Burn, the mountains across the way. And so, yeah, we're basically living on, the river and the canals, and it's just a really beautiful city. I'm very biased, sorry. So there you can see it here. City centre here is to the left, but really the city is all around us. This is the campus. And it also then our actual buildings are where this arrow is. We're just up to the right of this. So it's it's a very sprawling campus, but again, as I say, it's it's all within, everything is within walking distance. There's the sea and the river. So the university at a glance. We're in the top 2% of universities in the world. That's the QS World University Rankings. We have 115,000 plus alumni worldwide, and we have very good connections with our alumni. We keep we have a very loyal alumni base, and they are lots of philanthropy, and they're based in lots of the companies here in Galway and also multinational companies, and we have built relationships with them. And yeah, if you study here in Galway, you become part of that alumni network worldwide. We are the first in Ireland for sustainable development, which we're very proud of. And sustainability is incredibly important at the moment. Not at the moment, it is incredibly important. And yeah, as I say, very proud of that. 98% of our graduates are in employment or in further education, which is, yeah, also incredibly proud of that, because our programs, especially here in the School of Business and Economics, they're very much research-led, but career-focused. And we work very closely with our industry partners, to ensure that our students are employable, have an edge in the employability stakes. And then we have over 19,000 students, with 18% of whom are international, and they are 102. That would represent 122 nationalities. So then I'm just very briefly going to speak about admissions. I know, Luke, that you're actually going to mention that as well, about the entry requirements, but I will put this slide back up again. How to apply for our programs. It's an online application process. Offers are made on a rolling basis, but we would always recommend that applications be made early to guarantee, or to guarantee an offer. And then there's the link there but there's also a QR code there. I'll put that back up again. And then we also have postgraduate merit scholarships here in the school, which are very generous, up to 50% of the tuition fee. And to be eligible, there's no application for this, but to be eligible, one must have accepted their offer. And you'll see here the dates, the closing dates for 2025. International students, the 30th of April, and then for national or EU students, it will be the 1st of July 2025. And there's a QR code there just to show where you can find further information about the postgraduate scholarship. But as I say, you're automatically considered if you have accepted your offer by the closing date. And yeah, I can leave that there, but that's me done. And I will hand you over now to Luke, who will speak to you about the programme.
Yeah, so thanks to everyone for joining.
Have I stopped? I haven't. I have.
Yeah, so my slides are showing now, yeah?
Yeah,
so
perfect.
Yeah, so the first thing, just to point out, I suppose, first, why you should do a master's degree in general, it's in any master's degree. So we find, particularly with Irish undergraduate students, is that they're finding it very difficult to turn down graduate salaries. So the job market is quite good and very difficult to turn down a graduate salary. But what I would encourage all students to do is to think about the long run and to consider postgraduate programs, because if you think about your lifetime earnings, they're generally going to be much higher for postgraduates. So just for the Irish example, there's a salary premium of about so this is data from the Higher Education Authority showing that postgraduates are earning between 3,000 and 11,000 euro every year higher than an undergraduate student. So like your fees can pay off very quickly in terms of your employment opportunities. And the other thing to do is just future proof the long run. And this is where like the environmental econ program, which I'll talk about, is very good in terms of future proofing, because what we generally tend to see is that actually during recessions, people try and retrain to try and look more attractive in the job market. So it's during recessions that masters numbers tend to increase rather than during the good times. So why do our program? So like our program, we're really just exploring sort of the theoretical principles and practical techniques of economic analysis, and we're employing that to environmental policy and decision making within this evolving global context of climate change, sustainability, the emerging regulatory frameworks. So we're seeing far more policy focus now on sustainable development, ESG reporting, recognizing climate risk. And so what our graduates really then embark on careers. So it's sort of like four main areas, which I'll talk in a bit more detail, but in terms of, so either they go into policy analysis, research and academia, directly into the energy sector, and now we're in recent years, increasingly we're seeing students take on roles in finance and banking. So they're really, as this evolving regulatory framework, is really just seeing high demand for students that are interested in environmental problems due to these increasing regulations. So who are our students? Diverse backgrounds. So it's not just economics, it's biology, so the natural sciences, engineers, basically like anyone who's interested in trying to tackle global environmental challenges. So in relation to global problems, global issues like climate change, renewable energy transitions, marine protection, climate resilient development, just transition, and these people who want to learn the economic tools to analyze and address these challenges. In terms of the overview, so basically just we are on campus in-person delivery. We have a mixture of in-person exams and continuous assessment. So a lot of modules are 50% assessment and 50% final exams. And then, as I'll talk through, there's an opportunity to either undertake a placement or a traditional academic dissertation. So what courses do we teach? So in semester one, you'll learn microeconomics, econometrics, climate change economics, and natural resource governance and sustainability. In semester two, environmental economic modeling, cost benefit analysis, global issues in agriculture, marine, and renewable energy economics. And that module is basically a series of guest lectures that come in each week to talk about various policy challenges in relation to agriculture, marine, and renewable energy. And then there's an optional module for you to pick between either public sector economics, derivatives and risk management, green and sustainable finance, or European energy policy. So you can kind of really then delve into one of the areas that you're of interest in, and then can really signal then on your CV what sort of area that you really want to go into employment. And then, so in summary, which I'll talk a bit more about in a minute, which is you either do a traditional academic dissertation or an applied work placement. So some programs require you to do both or one of the other. So what we're doing is you have the opportunity to do one or the other. We have a very generous timetable, so we schedule our lectures in a way such that you only have to be on campus 2 days a week. So we are very much in-person delivery, and the research shows students learn better, better interaction on campus, but you are only required to be on campus 2 days a week. On Thursday, what we offer, so again, we recognize that so some students get a bit afraid about the economics and the quantitative side of things, but what we do is offer this optional, which can be taken online, mathematics for economists. So this really just gives you the foundations in mathematics. So again, we see students, it's a common issue, which is, is the maths required for this course? It's like, yeah, maths is required, but we do give you a lot of resources to try and help you. So that maths course is designed to give you the fundamental foundations that will be really helpful for you in your other courses. So that's optional. It runs for the first 4 weeks of the semester. And again, there's an option to, so it's given in a lecture hall. And so you can go to the lecture hall or you can take it hybrid. So you can do it fully online, you can go hybrid, or you can go into the lecture hall. And there's, so it's an optional course with an optional exam at the end as well, that will be graded if you want. So why should you enroll in the MGE? So sort of the key advantages that we have. So like if you're interested in, so what we're doing really is applying the tools of economic analysis to provide practical solutions to these global environmental issues. And we always, like I'm always being asked, where's the jobs? Where's the employment? Like people can't see this direct link. But really this is a great course to future-proof your employment. So whether you're interested in working in the public or private sector, environmental policy and regulation isn't going anywhere. We're just going to have more and more policy and more regulation, not going anywhere. And we do have an excellent track record of employment. So in terms of just within our program, so we've the employment survey 1 year after graduation, 81% employed full-time, 8% part-time, 10% in further studies. Again, we don't like, if you're, what you really should be focusing on is what are you interested in doing. Don't be worried, where's the jobs? Because as I'll explain, there's lots of job and employment opportunities. And so what are they, right? So where do our graduates get jobs? Again, as I said, excellent track record in employability. So the real emerging sector now is green and sustainable, green banking, sustainable finance. So the consultancy firms, so the big four, Ernst & Young, PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, also other wider consultancy firms like Arup, they are really they're taking on risk auditors, sustainability advisors, regulatory analysts, and this is all coming through EU regulations. Financial institutions like the Central Bank, AIB, Bank of Ireland, Irish Life, these are all dealing with climate risk. Again, risk audit, ESG analyst, responsible banking. And so the job titles of our recent graduates are things like, and these are new roles, like these exist in the last 5 years in response to these growing regulations. So things like consultant climate change and sustainability services, sustainability associate, sustainability auditor, and these roles are only going to grow. So the EU CSRD reporting regulations require firms to both complete sustainability reports, and so the completion of those reports are going to be outsourced to consultancy firms to help businesses complete these reports. So that's one channel for employment. And also those integrated sustainability reports have to be audited. And those firms, then the consultancy firms, have to audit those reports as well. So this is what's happening. We're seeing auditor roles, risk, climate, sustainability. And what's happening is general finance students, they're not interested in ESG and sustainability. They're not interested in these roles, right? So there's a real gap in the market that can be taken up by people interested in environmental accounting. The second strand where people go into is policy making, policy analysis. So again, we're research-led, policy-focused. We're applying, the whole course is about applying the tools of economic analysis to solve policy problems. So our graduates going to, so the Irish Government Economic Evaluation Service, which is basically the centralised economists' employment in the civil service. They go into policy analysis roles in the Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland, into Bord na Móna, into local government, and into the Environmental Protection Agency. So this is all just basically economists or policy analysts focusing on various environmental or just general policy analysis. Directly into the energy sector. So energy companies like Ervia, ESB, so our graduates go into roles like pricing analysts, policy and regulatory analysts, and the Commission for Energy Regulation, which is the overall regulator for utilities, going in as regulatory analysts. The third role is academia and research. So we've currently in economics, we have 30 PhD students, and I think 6 of those are from the Masters in Environmental Economics in Galway. So we're seeing our graduates going to research institutes like the Economic and Social Research Institute, Marine Institute, Teagasc, which is agricultural research, and students going on to further education, doing their PhD in academia and lecturer positions. What else do we have? So we have some international links. So the UNFCCC Climate Change in Universities Partnership means that if there's interested groups of students, that there's a potential placement opportunity for a team of students. So we've had a team of students previously go out and undertake research and go out to the UN offices. We also have previously the CMCC, the Climate Change Research Institute in Venice, as a placement opportunity as well. Again, for groups of students to conduct research. And one thing we offer as well, so Tyg O'Brien is an adjunct professor. He's deputy head of unit at DG Ener in the European Commission. So he manages policy development and implementation related to the European Green Deal. So he's the lecturer on an optional course, European Energy Policy. So that's a really unique, opportunity for students to learn from somebody who's really high up in the European Commission. And a fantastic thing, like, to get across on your CV, which is I've learned about the policy from someone in the European Commission. Like, please hire me. Like, it's a fantastic opportunity. And also, as part of that, he generally brings students out to the European Commission in Brussels for a visit. So you're not going to get that on every program. Another field trip, so students, they go out on the research vessel Tom Crean. So this is a fantastic, basically seagoing training program down in Cork, where students will go out onto the boat with the marine scientists. They learn new skills that get directly applied as they basically. So you out there, so you learn from marine biologists, marine scientists, and then you have to respond to a hypothetical company request to conduct a cost-benefit analysis of some environmental project. So this is a collaboration between the Strategic Marine Alliance for Research and Training and the Social and Economic Marine Research Institute in Galway. So this is a really unique opportunity for students to get a hands-on experience of the multidisciplinary scientific research methods that are used to survey the marine environment and learn from marine biologists and scientists. Another key seller that we have is our research experience. So environmental economics is a key research strength of the School of Business and Economics. So we're highly research active. We've internationally recognized expertise in agricultural economics, marine, energy, natural resource, environmental economic accounting, and climate change research. There's 2 research groups that contain a lot of research on environmental economics in the university. So the Socioeconomic Marine Research Institute or unit and the Centre for Economic Research on Inclusivity and Sustainability. So your lecturers are going to be highly research active, and we are international experts in these fields. So these are just these are recent publications from people who will be lecturing you, and we're actively publishing on various issues in environmental economics. So here are some papers on marine tourism and measuring sustainable development, looking at renewable energy and fuel economy standards and climate. Wider resources that are offered, so the professional development sessions, so through the careers office, library and academic writing service, sessions with the placement officer, and within economics as well. So I'm one of the co-organizers of the economic seminar series. So there's weekly economic seminars on Thursdays, a lot of environmental academic environmental research based academics. So that's every Thursday at 1 o'clock. And there's also weekly PhD economic seminars as well. So anybody, you can actually come and see like various, like what the cutting edge research is on campus. So again, so I thought I'd talk about the dissertation placement, because this is another thing that gets asked a lot about like what's actually involved. So you choose between either the traditional research dissertation or work placement. So they're both worth the same. They're both worth 10 credits equivalent to one module. They're both technically 1-year modules, as some engagement is required for both of them, but most of the work is carried out in the summer. So, and the timelines are the same for both. Generally, you'd be expected to work between mid-May to the end of July to complete either a dissertation or to complete your placement. And it's up to you to decide. Like, it's an opportunity. Figure out which one it makes more sense for you. So think of these both as opportunities to invest in your future career. So what are your career goals? What do you find interesting? Both offer the opportunity to gain some skills and expertise. So how the placements work, so they're competitive, and we have a placement officer. So typically there will be an ad for a placement, you apply, you selected for interview, and some students will get external placements, others may not. And some placements are paid, well, most placements will be paid. And the placement opportunities are passed on to the students as they arise, but students are also, they can self-source their own placement opportunities. The only caveat with all of this is that it's not nonsensical placement. So the placement has to be related to some content on the course. So it has to be some sort of environmental policy or environmental economics based placement. So it's a practical applied placement. And again, the placements are not a requirement to get the degree. It's an option. It's an opportunity for you. And if you take a placement, you will be given an academic contact from the University of Galway so they'll keep in contact with you during the placement. And you're required then to submit a placement report at the end, which is evaluated by me, the program director, and by whoever the academic contact is from the university. So the placement is an opportunity for experience. You can add this to your CV, so the transferable skills, work environment, and so that's kind of the main thing there. So where have people gone on placements? So like I said, the UNFCCC has been a placement, but they've also gone into ComReg, DSRI, Environmental Protection Agency, IGES, Ernst & Young, DPD. So lots of various placements there. The dissertation then it's basically just your traditional academic thesis. So an academic research report, similar to writing an academic journal article. So it's a research around 6,000 words that you would submit to the program director and your assigned supervisor. So an academic supervisor is assigned to you, and then the research topic is agreed between you and the supervisor. And then, so some supervisors will have projects that they're interested in that might pass on to you and you might do, or you're free to develop a topic that you're interested in. So you'll work closely with your academic supervisor, develop a research idea, and then carry out a piece of that research. And then at the end of the dissertation, or at the end, then you're submitting this 6,000 word or roughly dissertation. So why do the dissertation? So it's an opportunity to develop research skills and experience. You're working closely with a member of academic faculty, and you can develop your own ideas and interest into a research project. So you're producing a novel piece of research, and we've had in the past students go on and develop that into academic publications. So it's 2 students there who've recently published work that's come through their master's dissertation. So in terms of our fees, so EU fees are just under €8,000 for the full-time program, and €4,000 per year for the part-time program. And then for non-EU students, it's €20,000. So there's no part-time option for non-EU students. Entry requirements. So what we say is normally a 2-1 degree with some economics. However, if you have a 2-2 degree with some economics or some quantitative modules, this will also be considered. So we don't really want the economics or the quantitative side to be seen as a major sort of negative or anything, because this is a great conversion course for non-economic students. So what we get is students coming from a diverse range of backgrounds that are converting into this new career. So we get students every year from biology, ecology, engineering, physics, sociology, humanities, real diverse range of students. So students without an economics background are highly encouraged to apply. So talk to me as the program director, and we can have a discussion and see what can be done. So typically, if you don't have any economics, then you might be required to just do a basic online economics course before you're accepted. And in terms of funding, so like SUSI grants, the Student Universal Support in Ireland, so depending on your eligibility, SUSI grants can pay postgraduate fees up to a maximum of €6,270, and maintenance grants up to €7,500. And again, so you can check your eligibility online there. There's a range of scholarships. So the main ones, so our Irish Aid, Ireland Fellows Programme. So this provides fees and travel expenses, as well as a living stipend and your accommodation paid. This is Government of Ireland International Education Scholarship. So this includes a fee waiver and a €10,000 scholarship. Sharon mentioned those postgraduate merit scholarships. And there's also the Excellence Scholarship for EU students. And so one thing that I'm happy to do is I'm happy to review and give feedback on your application for any of these funding. So if you want to draft part of your application and send it to me, I'm happy to review it and provide feedback on it. So that's something that most programs will not offer. So that's something I'm happy to do. So any questions? I'm happy to take questions now. If anyone has any, or you can contact me, and I'm happy to answer anything that.
Thanks so much, Luke. That's really insightful. Thank you. I see Ankit there, who has already been offered a place and has accepted his place in the course, has asked, what are the subjects for mathematics for economics courses?
I don't know the exact subjects, but I can certainly, if he wants to get in contact, I can send him the course outline.
Perfect. I think you've more questions there, Ankit, to see.
What's completed? The FRM exam. I was completed the FRM exam. Do you know what that is? Should it be considered?
For placements.
Should it be considered for placements, financial risk management. Oh, financial risk management, sorry. And which exam, I wonder, was that, Ankit, if you could?
Will that help with placements? That exam.
Oh, that's what the question. Oh, to see would that help placements?
In getting placements? Does it
matter? Oh yeah, that should help. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Ankit.
And congratulations.
Yes.
It is conducted by GARP. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. So that's that. He did it through GARP. So that definitely will. I mean, everything will help with the CV. Absolutely, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the more that you have on the CV will definitely, you know, place you well. I am fresher. Should that be helpful for placements in banks? Sorry, I don't know what fresher is. Is that a misspell, maybe? Sorry, Ankit. Now I'm not sure what that is. If you could, like, I have
1 year work experience within banks.
Oh, I think you already have a year's work experience. Then you'd study the masters. And Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, very good. I mean, so all the placements are competitive. So the more experience you have, then the better it looks to the employer.
And would a lot of the students do they have work experience already, or is it a mix?
Some students, it depends. So like there's sort of two routes, or there's two broad placement opportunities. So either there's a confined competition, which is their competitions confined just to our students in the master's program itself. So like this year we have the Central Statistics Office. They're taking on a student in the Environmental Statistics Division. But that competition is only within our students in our program. Yeah, so then obviously like the banks generally don't do that. They just open the competition to like the EU or Ireland.
Right. Okay.
So then I mean, you're competing not just with our students, you're competing with the whole country.
Okay. Now he said he's worked with Deutsche Bank. So that's
is it necessary? Very good,
yeah. Is it necessary to do further studies after MSc Global Environmental Economics?
Well, it depends. Like, so if you want to go into academia, then you would need a PhD. But there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to get employment like in the private sector or public sector as a policy analyst. The only reason to do further studies would be if you were interested in academia or you wanted to learn something else for your own skills.
Yeah. Or pivot to if you wanted to change and you do another program. But if this is
generally what we get is though people want to do our program because they want to change from
something else. Exactly. Yeah.
We like again, the students typically that we get are interested in environmental problems, and so they then want to move away from something to go into environmental policy or regulation or
so I suppose
they don't want general finance roles. They want like ESG related roles.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's what you're interested in, Ankit, then no. The short question is if it's employment that you want to. If you're interested in going into employment after the program, well then this is what you need. But if academia, then obviously yes, you'd be considering a PhD. But you don't need a PhD to work. To work in the area.
No. So like three graduates last year, they're all working. So one is working in PwC, one is working in KPMG, I think, and then one is in Arup, and they're straight from their master's degree.
Fantastic. Okay, he's going. Ankit will share the CV with you, and just we'll contact you if that's okay. Yeah. So
that's wonderful. So unless anybody else has any questions, I think that might be it. Thank you.
And has connected on LinkedIn.
Brilliant.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And any questions, you have the contact details there. Thanks very much.